me alone because Matthias unfortunately had some health issue. So today I will be with you on this session. We are going to talk about how to create side hustle. And then this topic is quite big, but I will try to make it short and give you some inspirations how you at home, besides your full-time job, to create additional income. So in general, what do you know if what side hustle is? I guess you can understand it from this name. Actually, it's usually applied to people who already have full-time job and they would like to create something at the side without quitting their job. So that gives them additional income. And there are different reasons why people need side hustle. One of the reasons is that, for example, if you have only one job and all your incomes, your living expenses are depending on your current job, then it's very risky because we have seen that during the pandemic time, a lot of people have lost their jobs, or a lot of jobs have disappeared from the marketplace. And if you do not have emergency savings, if you cannot find another job immediately, it is a very, very big risk to you and your family, especially if you are the one who is earning to support a whole family. So creating side hustles is actually helping you to diversify these risks that you are depending on one income source. So this is one of the reasons why you need to create side hustles. And then the second reason is that you might be interested in starting your own business or running something online or creating something that's, for your own, but you are not sure if you are going to make it successful, or you're not sure if this business will bring you enough cash flow to replace your current job. Because we all know that starting a business is very, very risky. And also there are lots of challenges and difficulties along the way. So the best way to do it is actually create a side hustle, and then over time, building it over time, and then to grow it and to learn from it. Then in the end, maybe one day your side hustle generates enough cash flow that can help you to transition from your full-time job to another full-time job, which is running your side hustle. So this is a very good option for people who are interested in starting your own business, but you're not sure if it will be successful. So by starting from as a side hustle, over time, maybe you can grow something big without quitting your full-time job. And the third reason for people who want to start side hustle is simply to create additional income. Maybe you would like to have nicer holidays, or if you like to support your families, or if you want to have additional income to live, to like raise your quality of life. There are different reasons, but to simply create additional income, there are many ways to create side hustles. Okay, so what I talk about right now is basically three scenarios. That first, to reduce your risks based on your one income source, which is your current job. And then second one is to create your own business, and then to make a transition or make a test before you quit your job. And then, or potentially you could grow into a full-fledged business, and then you can then transition to your side hustle as full-time business. And the third reason is simply to create additional income. So next, I'm going to tell you how you can create a side hustle and to create additional income through your side hustle step by step. And before that, I would like to ask the audience, do you all have a full-time job, or are you thinking about or interested in creating side hustles? Please leave in the comments. And I already see that Dan Device is here, Rainmaker is here. Welcome, guys. Okay, next, I will move on to the next topic, which is what can you do to create side hustles, right? So first, let's start with the idea. What are the ideas that's for side hustles? You need to really think outside of the box, because side hustles is not like a traditional job that you see what's available in the marketplace. What is the common job titles? For example, software developer, or the cook, or some some people with special skills. But with side hustles, you can be as creative as you can. For example, you can walk your neighbor's dog if you're going to walk your dog anyway. You can help your neighbors or your families to babysit. You can, offer your homemade meals or cookies or I don't know, birthday cake that if it's your hobby to make it, then you can sell it online. Or you can, I don't know, simply create something that it does not require as a full-time job, does not exist in the marketplace. And you can also maybe leverage on what you already have. For example, if you have extra room, you can do Airbnb. If you have a car, you can rent it out if you are not using it. If you have extra parking, then you can rent it to someone. Or if you have extra storage space, why not rent it to some other people who might need more storage space? And I also know that there are people who flip items on marketplace. So they see something that could be undervalued, and then they buy it, and then they resell it to other people who is willing to pay more. So basically, there is no clear, let's say, right price because it's all perceived by individuals. Something that is not valuable to you anymore might be valuable for somebody else. So there are really a lot of people doing Facebook Marketplace flip. And I see that, okay, the rainmaker always interested in setting up new side hustles. Great. Then the wise, exactly, selling paintings. So if you have a hobby, you like to paint, maybe people are interested in buying your paintings. You don't have to be a famous painter. But if you paint anyhow, or you can create customized paintings, then there is a value for others. It could be interesting, it could be like a pattern, or it could be portrait that people are willing to pay for because you are doing it for side hustle, so you don't charge the same price as a professional painter. That's why maybe you have more customers in this way who can afford your services. So now we talk about ideas. So the first step, so now I already give you many out of the box ideas. So the first step is really to brainstorm. Think outside of the box. It's not like a traditional job. You need to think like how you can monetize everything. It can be from your hobbies, as I already mentioned, like if you're a painter or if you play instrument or if you are a photographer. You're not a photographer, but you are interested in photography. So it can be hobby based, like make a cookie or something for other people, or coach someone with the skills or experience you already have. So hobby based things that you can leverage on and create a side hustle. And the second category is skill based. So if you are already a website developer, maybe you can offer your skills to other people, help them to develop a website. Maybe you speak fluent German, then you can have a German conversation with people who want to learn and practice German. And if you are, let's say, accountant and you are very good with filing individual taxes, then you can help other people to file their taxes every year. Or if you have like social media skills, then you can help small companies or solopreneurs that do not have enough resources, but they might need some help for people to help them run their marketing activities online. Or it could basically could be anything. Or if you if you can speak several languages and if you're very feeling very good with reading taxes, text, you can literally do voiceover work. That is remote job, so everybody can do it with some trainings, with some experiences. So those are skill-based side hustles, which is widely available for you to sell right now because of the platforms. Like what I mentioned earlier, teaching language. There are not many teachers in, like say, community teachers. They are not professional teachers, but they can offer like conversational trainings with people who are like non-native speakers. And then what you can do is that you can register on the website, for example, italki. Italki is a website where people can learn any language from anybody. And you can be a community teacher. So community teacher means you don't have to be a professional. You don't need like a certificate or expertise. As long as you're a native speaker, you can offer as a community teacher and having conversations with students from around the world. And another thing is about selling paintings or photographies. So there are websites that you literally can upload your photos, and then if someone like it or they want to use it for commercial purpose, they can actually pay you through this website by using your paintings. And the same as voiceover and other like designs and the other skill-based services, you can offer it to the platform, and then the platform will help you to connect with the buyers. So nowadays there are lots of possibilities, but you just need to find out where you can, make it sellable. And the third type of side hustles, I call it the general ones. So general ones could be anybody can do it as long as you have time. For example, you can go on paid survey platforms. There you finish some surveys carried out by market research companies on behalf of brands and products, and then you get paid. So literally you are just using your time and answering some questions, and then you will get paid. That's very straightforward. And then another thing I also mentioned earlier, that under the general category, like flip items on Facebook Marketplace, or walk your neighbor's dog, or babysit, or card decals. So card decals, I think we mentioned in the previous session, that companies, they literally pay advertising agencies to find car owners which can put their advertisement on the car. So they paid for like advertising space. So if you are a car owner, you can find if in your local communities there are advertising agencies who offer this. So then you just get a like a sticker decal on your car, and then that is like passive income. But I can also create a side hustle, or rent out your cars, rent out your extra room as Airbnb, parking space, storage space. So those are the general ones. Either you do something everybody can do, and or you activate some resources you have, either like apartments or cars, some assets that you have. Then you can let other people to use it. Then you generate some income. So I mentioned three categories. So base one is based on your hobbies. That is great because you're going to do it anyway. Why not monetize on it? And then second one is skill based. Since you already have the expertise from your job, you can offer the similar services to other people who might need it. And then the last one is the general type. That there you can be, let's say, as creative as you want to be. So creating side hustles is not that difficult actually. If you start to think about what you have at home, what skills you have, what hobbies you have, maybe you will think, oh, I'm not a good painter, or I'm not a good cook, or I'm not so good, because you are comparing yourself with, let's say, the professionals, or those who you have seen from the website, from the internet. I would say because you are doing it as a side hustle, right? You have nothing to lose, so you might as well just try it out, because you can offer less price as professionals because you are doing it as a side hustle. You're not professionals, but there will be people who can afford your paintings or your services, but they cannot afford the professional ones. So there's a market for everybody. So just don't feel discouraged that you are not the best in the market. So next, once you have the idea, the next step is to decide which idea works, or which idea works the best for you. Because I just mentioned like maybe 5 ideas that everybody can use, but each of them requires some time and there are different rewards. So you can use like a matrix to evaluate what kind of ideas that you would like to pursue. For example, if you are going to do the survey online survey, definitely so easy to start, but also the reward is less because you are literally doing selling your time for this rewards. Or if you want to start a side business, then at the beginning you need to put in more efforts to build up the business, to make a business plan, to build a website, etc. And then to get some customers. Hopefully, if customers you are gaining more momentum in the marketplace, then your reward can be much bigger in the future. So something might take longer time to start, something might take just immediately you can start. So you need to evaluate how difficult it is to get started, and if the reward is, how big is the reward, what is the potential, and using other variants might matter to you. For example, how much time you need, are you available during the weekends or at night or not really? So then you can evaluate what kind of side hustles that you can do fast, what kind of side hustles that you need to dedicate more time to build over time, but in the future, you would like to have a long-term income from this side hustle. So number one is to brainstorm, then number two is to select, and then number three is to refine the idea. Why it's important not just selecting the idea, but also refine the idea. Imagine a lot of people might want to start a YouTube channel because YouTube sounds amazing. You make videos, then you can make advertising revenues. But the work behind the YouTube videos are much more than what you have thought about. So that's why you need to talk to people who might already have done it, ask them for advices, ask them what are the challenges they face, ask them all kinds of questions to help you understand what kind of efforts that you need to put into to make it work. For example, recently I interviewed like Art of Purpose for Fast Track podcast. He has a full-time job as a teacher, but also he is monetizing on Twitter. He's making very good income from Twitter, but it's not that easy because he has built a big following over time. He has written an ebook to help people, gain more followers on Twitter. I'm sure it's not done overnight. He put a lot of effort into it, but now he's also rewarded from it. So then you can think about those. If you have selected a few side hustle ideas, then identify the people maybe from your community, from Facebook group, from internet. Then connect with those people who are already doing it. And most of the time, I think people are willing to share their experiences with you and also do some research. Just don't decide on idea and plunge into it, and then later you realize that it's much more difficult than you thought. Then you give up on the idea of side hustle. So number three is to refine your ideas. It's this at this stage, the important thing is to test, ask, and select. So also ask people who you think might be your potential customer. If you are selling painting, think about who would want to buy your painting. Maybe as a gift, maybe something related to their personal, preferences. Some people like sort of painting with certain pattern with words as a gift idea. Then you ask people who buy gifts for family members, like what are you looking into as a gift, or how much are you willing to pay, and then get some ideas about, if it works or not. So that's the test. Ask people who have done it. It's people who have already experienced it, or people who have already be very successful about it. And then the select is to refine your idea. Yeah. So the third one is refine. Ask people, learn from it, and test your idea. And the fourth step, now we are going to take action because you already know what you can do, right? To create side hustles, to create incomes. So next is to make it as a business. So to take action is to for example, you need to create a quick business plan. Imagine if you want to start a business, not just completing the online survey, then you think about maybe you need a website, maybe you need to design, maybe you need to create an offer. This is important because what you are offering to people in exchange for money, right? So you need to find out what is the offer that is very attractive to potential customers. Okay, so now you're at action stage and you can use tools, for example, Wix, Squarespace. You can build a website as short as within a day or a few hours if you use the existing template. Create some landing page, create an offer, put a price to it. Or you can also create using Canva to design all this. All the services nowadays are widely available. You don't have to hire a professional to get it started. Nowadays, to start a business is so easy, as long as you know how to use the platforms, and they are really easy to learn. So next one is number 5 is to run the business now. So now think about you are a business owner, you need to run it. Even though it's not big, but you still need to run it like a business. So you need to create a separate account for your side hustle. So you need to know how much money you are earning from your side hustle, because later on you can evaluate if it's worth your time. Or later on you can evaluate where you can optimize. So you are really running a business. And then you need to have a clear view of the money coming in and going out. So you need to have a simple accounting system. A simple Excel sheet will do. basically one side is expenses and the other side is income. So everything related to doing your side hustle. And also remember to pay yourself first, because once money comes in, make sure to transfer a portion of them as your profit, as your income. Do not spend everything, because I know people who have side hustles. They make, for example, 1,000 profit. Then they start to think, oh, I can hire a designer. I can hire someone to do this. So they spend 1,000 on business expenses, but they do not have any profit. So they are focusing on like optimize and growing, right? But at the end of the day, it's about being profitable. So create maybe even a small percentage will do, or a big percentage if you like. Make it as a profit, and then pay yourself. Okay. And then the other thing important is about the legal status, because I know in many countries you can start a side hustle as a sole proprietor. So just double check in your own country, or if your company allows that, there's no conflicts of interest. And it's pretty easy to start. For example, in Switzerland, you might, depends on canton, it's a very simple process to register. And also there are a lot of tax benefits. For example, the third pillar retirement account in Switzerland, for full-time employee, you can contribute 6,800 or so per year. It is tax deductible. But as a freelancer, or let's say as a sole proprietorship owner or person, you can contribute up to 35,000. So that is tax free. So in a way, it's very beneficial, both sides, additional income and tax saving. And the last one is also to create an invoice template and service agreement template. It's important to nail them down on paper, what you agree with your customer, that the service you are going to provide it to them, and also what you agree that's how much they will pay you. Because now you really need to think that you are running it like a business. It's not just an oral agreement. You need to have it in the paper. You don't need the, I would say, ideally you need a lawyer, but you don't need a lawyer to do all the job. There are lots of service agreement templates on the internet, and also there are many invoice templates on the internet. It can be a simple Excel, then you can reuse it every time. And every time when you have a new customer, you just adapt the content slightly. Then it's going to help you moving forward and get paid. And and then you have your simple accounting system in Excel. Then you see how much is your expenses. So running, it's like a business. Do not mess up everything with your personal expenses, personal income. So over time, you will see if you can optimize your business or even grow your business. So the last part, I would say the benefits derived from creating additional income from side hustle is also about investment. Imagine if you do not have this side hustle and you do not have this investment. I mean, if you have side hustle income and then you make partially or most of it, depends on your personal situation, into an investment, which you would never have if you don't have a side hustle, then this investment could grow substantially in years. I'm going to share with you a very simple calculation. So imagine that you create several side hustles or just one side hustle, and then you are going to make, let's say, less than, like they say, 200, 200 per month. Let's just say this. So in a year after expenses, you have 2,000. And then in 2,000, for this 2,000, you put in an investment which over long term, like 10 years, gives you on average 10% return. And then how much will it be? Please take a guess. 2,000 per year investing, on average 10% return investment over 10 years time. How much would the amount be after 10 years? 10 years. Please give a guess. So I'm waiting. Okay, I can share with you the results. It's going to take a long time to calculate if you really want to get it right. So after 10 years, if you invest 2,000 per year with average 10% return, it's going to be 31,872 74. So I'm typing here 31,874. Okay, so that is after 10 years time. Just imagine, oh, the rainmaker got it got it right, almost 32K. I hope you didn't use online calculator. So this is just like 200 per month side hustle, right? Only 200 per month. And then imagine if you started when you are 20 years old or 25 years old, you do side hustles. You know, when you are younger, you can work harder. When you're older, you physically are not capable as when you are younger. So ideally, you should work harder when you're young and then build a solid foundation for your financial future. So the idea is that if you are in your 20s, early 20s, or even early 30s, and you work hard, you do side hustle, you invest more, and then this money in 10 years it becomes 31, 32,000, right? Even if you stop your side hustle or you stop contributing to this investment from your 20s to 30s, 10 years, you just stop. And then 20 years later, you just don't do anything about it. You let it run in the same investment. 20 years later, guess how much would it be? You just don't do anything. Just invest in 10 years and let it run by itself for another 20 years until you are probably 60. And then how much more money you will have in this account for your retirement. This one is going to be more complicated. So I'm just going to type the answer here. So I will repeat again. You just do a side hustle, 10 years, invest, and then do nothing. And then 20 years later, it's going to be $214,432. Okay? So the point here is that even if you do not continuously doing side hustle later on, the ones that you are doing in the early years and giving you additional income, which you then use it to invest, will bring you much more benefit for your older age. So actually, in total, 2,000 per year, 10 years, you only invested absolute value is 20,000. But later it turned into 214,000. So it's almost 10 times just because you started early. So this calculation, what I want to prove you is that when you are still young, do not, okay, I will not say do not. When you are young, try to work harder and generate more incomes so that when you invest, you have longer years for it to grow. And then when you about to retire, or you can retire early, then you will have more choices in life. So I hope today you learned something about side hustles. Side hustles is not so complicated, even $10 can be a side hustle income. I remember when I first published an article on Medium platform, which you can also find all the articles on my website right now, that I think I made like 3 cents about the first article, because on Medium you can make your article behind the paywall. So when people read your article, like the paid Medium paid member read your article, you will get a fraction of the membership fees. And I was so excited, even though it's not significant at all, but it really shows that as long as you be creative and then put the work out, there are many ways to create incomes. So of course, later on, my Medium articles got more traction. It's not 3 cents anymore. Everything takes a process. So in the past years, I have met a lot of amazing people who built amazing side hustle business, and 2 to 3 years is generating like a really significant income. But it's not going to become overnight success. Everything takes time. So if you want to really, make sure that you want to have a better retirement or have more disposable income, it's better to start now than later. And if you don't want to start a business or something for longer horizon, you can just find some, online teaching, language exchange, or paid survey, rent out certain things you already have. Then you can already have a lot of side incomes. So today we talk about how to create side hustles. It's a very compact. And if you want to learn more about how to create side hustles, you can also check it out my platform, fasttrack.live, or Financial Imagineers platform. Everything is in the link. Every link is in the show notes below. And if you want to really transform your relationship with money and learn it systematically, you don't want to spend too much time, doing your own research, making mistakes, just learn everything compact all together, then I highly recommend you to sign up the Fast Track Money course. It's going to be 6 weeks packed with all the knowledge and tools that you will use for life. This is a life skill. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And as always, please follow us on LinkedIn. Check out the website, listen to my Fast Track podcast, and then see you in the next week session. Bye bye.